What if the history we've been taught is only half the story? Across the globe, colossal stones, some weighing over 100 tons, stand defying all logic. No wheels, no cranes, just ancient people and somehow impossible architecture. How did they do it? Were they guided by lost knowledge or something else entirely? Today, we're diving into 5 ancient megaliths that shouldn't exist. Their precision, weight, and mystery have baffled experts for decades. And by the end of this video, you might question everything you thought you knew about the ancient world. Standing in silence, the Gate of the Sun near the highlands of Bolivia is a mysterious monument carved from a single block of andesite stone. It's called the Gate of the Sun, and it's not just a doorway, it's a riddle carved in stone by the ancient Tiwanaku civilization. At over 10 tons, and towering 3-meter high, this monolithic structure is believed to be more than 1,500 years old. But what truly captivates historians, archaeologists, and mystery lovers alike are the intricate carvings etched into its face. At its center is a powerful figure commonly referred to as the staff god, believed to represent a solar deity. Surrounding this figure are a series of winged and human-like entities, many of them with tears falling from their eyes. Why the tears? What did they represent? And what was the true purpose of this massive stone gateway? Some researchers believe the Gate of the Sun functioned as a celestial calendar. The carvings may represent the days of the year, solstices, equinoxes, or the movements of celestial bodies. When the sun rises or sets through certain angles of the gate, it's believed the shadows might have marked specific dates, turning the structure into a sophisticated astronomical tool. But others argue its purpose was more symbolic, possibly spiritual or religious. Could it have been a portal between worlds, a ceremonial entrance, or maybe a tribute to the gods? Despite decades of study, no one knows for sure. What adds to the enigma is that the gate was not found standing in its original place. It was discovered lying on its side, damaged and partially buried. Some believe it was once part of a larger temple complex, perhaps even a full observatory. And yet, no definitive layout of that original complex has ever been confirmed. The Tiwanaku civilization, often overshadowed by the later Inca Empire, was incredibly advanced in architecture, astronomy, and engineering. The Gate of the Sun is a testament to their brilliance and their mystery. Its construction, symbolism, and celestial alignment hint at a knowledge of the cosmos far beyond what we usually attribute to civilizations of that era. But here's where the story deepens. Just a few hundred meters from the Gate of the Sun lies Puma Punku, home to stones carved with such precision that some claim they resemble machine-cut surfaces. Could these two sites be connected? Were they part of a grander blueprint? A center of ancient knowledge now lost to time, the Gate of the Sun doesn't just pose one mystery, it opens the door to many. And with every theory comes another question, and we're only just getting started. The Monolith of Tlaloc. It stands guard at the entrance of Mexico's National Museum of Anthropology, a towering stone figure, both awe-inspiring and ominous. This is the Monolith of Tlaloc, one of the largest ancient statues ever discovered in the Americas, weighing an estimated 167 tons. The statue depicts Tlaloc, the Aztec god of rain, fertility, and storms, and while its presence is now static, its history is anything but. Let's start with the obvious question. How did ancient people carve and transport something this massive without modern technology? The statue was found lying in a dried riverbed near Cotlinan, a small town outside Mexico City. No quarry nearby has ever been confirmed as the source of the stone. That alone raises eyebrows because this isn't just any stone. It's andesite, one of the hardest materials to work with. Shaping it would have required extreme effort, technique, and patience. And if the Aztecs didn't have metal tools or wheels, how exactly did they accomplish this? But the mystery doesn't stop at its construction. The carvings on Tlaloc's body are rich in symbolism. Rivers, flowing water, thunderclouds, and sacred glyphs echoing his dominion over life and destruction. Some scholars suggest the monolith may have served more than just religious purposes. Its markings might align with celestial or seasonal changes, potentially guiding agricultural cycles. In 1964, the statue was moved to its current location in the capital. It took a massive logistical effort, a custom ramp, 2 giant tractors, and carefully timed transport during Mexico's dry season. But as the statue arrived in Mexico City, something eerie happened. A sudden torrential storm struck the area. To many, it wasn't just a coincidence. It was Tlaloc's fury. Over 25,000 people gathered to witness the statue's arrival. Many of them indigenous Mexicans who viewed the statue as more than just an artifact. To them, it was a living symbol of their ancestry and belief system. And the storm, a divine reaction to the displacement of a god, even stranger, some experts speculate the statue wasn't originally meant to stand upright. Historical records and the statue's structure hint that it may have been intended to lie on its back, suggesting it might not have been a deity's image at all, but perhaps a pillar or component of a much larger structure like an ancient bridge or ceremonial gateway. But no companion structure has ever been found. No twin statues, no inscriptions explaining its purpose. Just one massive ancient stone god whose origins are still debated to this day. Whether a divine guardian or a misunderstood monument, the monolith continues to stir both scholarly intrigue and spiritual reverence. And next, we travel to the deserts of Saudi Arabia, where a rock split with uncanny precision waits to challenge our sense of what's natural and what is ent. Al-Naslaa split rock. At first glance, it looks like a movie prop, an enormous boulder perfectly split down the middle by a gap so precise it resembles a surgical incision. This is Al-Naslaa, located in the Tamar oasis of Saudi Arabia, and it may just be the most photogenic and controversial rock on Earth. Why? Because no one can agree on how this stone was split. Al-Naslaa stands roughly 6 meters tall, with 2 separate stone halves balanced delicately on narrow bases. So narrow, in fact, they almost look like stilts. The 2 halves are separated by a gap that's razor-thin and eerily straight. It's not cracked, broken, or crushed. It's cleaved as if by a laser. Theories, of course, abound. The scientific explanation, a natural fault line. Over thousands of years, pressure from tectonic movement and erosion may have caused the rock to split cleanly along a weak point. Another theory involves thermal expansion, where drastic changes in temperature cause stress fractures that eventually break a stone apart. And then there's wind erosion, slowly carving away the sides until the perfect gap emerged. But here's the thing. None of these theories fully explain the unnatural level of symmetry. There are no visible signs of shearing or uneven chipping. The inside of the split is smooth, clean, and nearly vertical. Even seasoned geologists admit it's bizarre. To add to the enigma, the surface of the rock is covered in ancient petroglyphs, including depictions of horses, symbols, and what appears to be a rider. Some of these carvings date back thousands of years, linking the site to the Bronze Age civilizations that once thrived in the Arabian Peninsula. Yet there's no sign the rock was ever part of a larger structure. No temples, no settlements, just one split monolith standing alone in the desert. Of course, fringe theorists suggest more exotic possibilities like ancient lasers, lost technologies, or even extraterrestrial influence. After all, what kind of natural process produces that level of precision? But no matter the theory, no one has been able to recreate the same effect artificially in similar stone. One more thing. If you look closely to the right of the main split, you'll notice another faint crack running parallel. Could this be evidence of pressure cracks? Or is it a clue to a process we still don't fully understand? Al-Naslaa remains a geological marvel and a magnet for mystery. Whether you're a skeptic or a seeker, there's no denying this rock challenges our expectations of what nature or ancient humanity was capable of. But if you think Al-Naslaa is strange, wait until you see the 500-ton floating cube carved in Japan with no tools, no writing, and no explanation. Ishi-no-Hoden. In the hills near Asuka, Japan, lies a stone so massive, so geometrically perfect, it looks like a misplaced piece of modern architecture. Locals call it Ishi-no-Hoden, which roughly translates to stone sanctuary, but what it really is, nobody knows. What we do know is this: it's a single cube-shaped block of stone, carved with stunning precision, weighing an estimated 500 tons. To put that into perspective, that's nearly 8 times heavier than any stone used to build the Great Pyramid of Giza. And yet, it lies here in the middle of nowhere on a small pond that gives it the eerie illusion of floating, and no one knows who made it or why. Most experts agree the megalith dates back to Japan's German period, possibly between 14,000 and 300 BC. That makes it prehistoric, created by a people whose tools and techniques were, according to mainstream history, not capable of such engineering. Even more baffling, no tools, no inscriptions, no construction debris have ever been found near the site. The area around the stone is clean, as if the block was simply placed there or abandoned mid-construction. Legends surrounding the Ishi-no-Hoden add another layer of mystery. Japanese folklore says 2 gods, Okunini and Sukunabi-kona, attempted to build a grand castle in a single night. They were interrupted by a divine order and forced to abandon the structure, leaving behind only this colossal stone. Some archaeologists suggest it was a foundation stone for a never-finished temple or tomb. Others believe it might have held religious or spiritual significance, possibly as a dwelling for deities. But again, these are only theories. What makes Ishi-no-Hoden even more peculiar is its geometric precision. Its surfaces are flat, its corners sharp, and it appears to have been detached from bedrock using unknown methods. One side even features a distinct rectangular notch, as if someone had planned to carve it out further, or lift it with a non-existent crane. It's also positioned at the center of a pond, giving rise to a theory that the water might have been used to levitate or manipulate the stone using buoyancy. Sound crazy? Maybe. But at this point, no explanation seems too far-fetched. There's no doubt this megalith is the product of incredible planning and precision. But by whom? For what purpose, and most importantly, how? There's no second structure like it in Japan, no similar stones, no associated ruins, just a 500-ton cube shaped and isolated, daring us to explain its existence. And if you think this is the pinnacle of ancient precision, just wait until you see what lies hidden in the highlands of Bolivia, Puma Punku, where the very laws of ancient stonework seem to shatter. Puma Punku. Welcome to Puma Punku, arguably the most baffling megalithic site on Earth. Nestled in the Bolivian highlands near Lake Titicaca, this ancient complex is so precise, so massive, and so out of place in history that it continues to spark debates among archaeologists, engineers, and theorists of all kinds. At first glance, it may just look like a scattering of large stones, but look closer and you'll find something astonishing. Blocks of red sandstone and andite, some weighing over 130 tons, cut and placed with engineering precision that rivals modern technology. Let's start with the obvious. How did the Tiwanaku civilization move these stones? Many of the largest blocks came from quarries located 10 to 90 kilometers away. They were transported across uneven terrain, some even across Lake Titicaca without wheels, pulleys, or pack animals. And yet here they are, stacked in place, some weighing as much as a Boeing 737. Even if massive manpower and rudimentary tools were used, there's one thing that no theory can quite explain: the precision. These stones were cut to fit together like puzzle pieces, no mortar, no gaps. The angles are so sharp and the joints so tight that not even a razor blade can slide between them. Some blocks have perfectly drilled holes, intricate notches and symmetrically cut grooves. The most famous examples, known as the H blocks, are virtually identical, as if mass-produced. So how were they made? Mainstream archaeologists suggest the use of stone hammers and patience. But skeptics argue that the level of geometric knowledge and tool precision required is far beyond what we typically attribute to a civilization that peaked around 500 to 600 AD. What's more, some stones exhibit magnetic anomalies, and others seem to have been exposed to extremely high heat, further fueling speculation that we're missing a piece of the puzzle. And then there's the question of age. While modern carbon dating of nearby materials suggests the site is around 1,500 years old, earlier scholars like Arthur Pasnansky claimed it was more than 10,000 years old based on archaeo-astronomical alignments. If he was right, it would mean Puma Punku predates every known civilization by millennia. Was this an ancient observatory? A forgotten city? A hub of advanced knowledge long lost to history? No one knows for sure, but one thing is clear. Puma Punku is not just a pile of rocks. It's a monument to something far more complex. Perhaps a lost civilization whose secrets remain buried beneath centuries of earth and speculation. As you look at the perfectly cut blocks lying scattered across the highlands, one thought is impossible to ignore. These stones don't belong in their time. And now, as we wrap up our journey through ancient enigmas, it's time to ask, what do these megaliths truly mean? And from the windswept plains of Bolivia to the silent stones of Japan, we've uncovered structures that defy time, logic, and sometimes even science. Each megalith we explored today challenges our understanding of what ancient civilizations were capable of. The gate of the sun may be a celestial calendar or a forgotten portal to another world. The Monolith of Tlaloc raises questions not just about its construction, but its purpose and whether gods can truly be moved. Al-Naslaa stands as a geological oddity, or perhaps something more engineered than we'd like to admit. Ishi-no-Hoden floats above a pond like an ancient riddle in stone, untouched by tools and forgotten by time. And Puma Punku. It's a monument to impossible craftsmanship, begging us to reconsider the limits of ancient knowledge. In the end, maybe we don't need to believe in lost technologies or alien interventions to be amazed. Sometimes the mystery itself is what makes these places so extraordinary. If you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more ancient mysteries, and hit that bell so you never miss another deep dive into history's biggest questions. Because the past isn't just behind us,